Jeremy Sockman here, coming to you with a movie that you may not have seen. I know I hadn't until I did, and now that I have, I'm here to tell you all about it. It's Alone in the Dark from 1982, starring some real old war horses and Jack Palance, Martin Landau, and Donald Pleasence, all of whom are now enjoying a little of their own alone time in the dark. But this one was made when they were all above ground, which makes their performances a heck of a lot better. So let's take a look. Dr. Dan Potter is the new guy at the mental hospital run by Dr. Leo Bain, played by Pleasence, who has some strange ideas about treatment and a real cast of oddballs in his care. There's Frank, the former POW, the pyromaniac preacher, the child molester, and the homicidal maniac. Yikes, those are four guys you don't want to have walk into a bar. They seem to think Dr. Dan killed the old doc, Dr. Harry, and aren't too pleased about that.
Now, Potter wants to kill us.
He that smiteth a man that he die shall surely be put to death.
We'll kill Potter.
The night of a big blackout, the foursome escape, taking a few guards and bystanders out along the way. They show up at Dr. Dan's house the next morning and rub out the babysitter and her boyfriend in the middle of some boffing. Everyone else comes home unaware, but the police feel like things are getting a little hairy, and Detective Barnett decides to stay to watch over the house. Well, wouldn't you know it, the old gang decides to play target shoot with a crossbow and a little game of axie-facey with Leo. There's a fire, a stabbing, a struggle, and just when you think everyone's going to die by Crazy Frank, spoiler alert, he sees that it was all a misunderstanding when Dr. Harry shows up on TV. Frank decides to leave the family alone and goes to a punk rock show where he meets a cute chick and they both laugh over the whole thing.
Hey, asshole, you gotta pay to get in.
Now I know what you're thinking. Just why in the heck is this movie called Alone in the Dark, when at no point is anyone actually alone in the dark in this movie? That I can't answer. But what I can tell you is that this is a movie that really wants us to know how it feels about the mentally ill. The director, Jack Sholder, wants us to know that if you're a little bit wrong in the head, then you should stay locked up good and tight. You don't belong in the real world, and he gives us loads of bloody murders, burnt basements, and hockey masks to prove it.
He's bleeding.
It doesn't matter what fancy treatments you give them, the mentally ill have no place in society according to this movie. Sometimes people don't fly over the cuckoo's nest. Sometimes they're just cuckoo. Better to keep them behind bars so the rest of us stay safe. This movie is advocating some real last century ideas about brain problems. Before we had a bunch of fancy meds to cure whatever ails us. Nowadays, when you feel like chopping somebody up, you just pop a pill. When you feel like inappropriately touching a kid, you just pop a pill. When you feel like burning down everyone and everything, you just pop a pill. Everything now can be cured with something nice and round that you suck back with some OJ.
Mavis, here's what you do. The next time you feel your intestine coming out, just move your hands in front of your face 3 times, like that. Yes, and then the intestines will stay inside, and you won't turn to porcelain.
So don't listen to Alone in the Dark. It's more out of date than last year's calendars down at the Goodwill. So while a few of these characters may not be socially desirable in their current states, I'm sure with some proper medication, they'd be right as rain. So if we tossed them all away, we'd never know what they could contribute to the world. Just look at how much Frank likes punk rock. Maybe he'll start a band and become the next Joey Ramone. So in the end, this is a movie with some notions from a different time that I just can't get behind. We've all evolved past this way of thinking, and that's why I'm Jeremy Sockman, and I'm giving the lock up all the crazies and throw away the key movie that is Alone in the Dark a hard pass.
The men's violence is a cry of pain, but nobody hears it.
The 3 men they murdered heard them, Leo.
What exactly are you trying to say, Dan?
Don't you think that you've lost sight? They've killed 3 people, Leo.
He has a point, Leo.
All right, they're crazy. Isn't everybody?